Yo, Elvert, what's happening, man? Elvert,
Hello.
You excited to be on GamesCast Live?
Very excited.
Dude, can I ask you?
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask you a very personal question as we get started here in a very public forum?
Sure.
Nice.
What's going on?
What's your take on the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Like, have you seen Fellowship of the Rings?
Dude, do you want to know something? I don't watch movies too much,
Yeah.
and that's actually one of the movies I haven't watched.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the Lord of the Rings. My buddies have tried to make me watch it, but every time we tried, I just never got to watch it because things happen. Yeah,
and it's also shockingly long. Like, I feel like it's one of my horrible personality traits that I haven't even seen them. I can't even tell you if I like the Lord of the Rings because I haven't even seen them. And so last night I was laying in bed and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put on a movie. I should start the Lord of the Rings, and the theatrical release was like 3 hours long, and I was like, that's interesting. And right next to it was the extended edition that was almost 4 hours long, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, should I just go all the way? Should I just do it? And so I started the 4 hour movie. And I've got to say, Elvert, so far I'm pleasantly pleased. But 2 hours in, I had to go to bed, man. That's a long fucking time to watch one movie. Pleasantly pleased.
Yeah, that's a lot of dedication right there.
Yeah. Speaking of dedication, thanks for being on the show, man. Really appreciate you hanging out today.
Oh, I love hanging out, and my pleasure.
Nice. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get this show started.
Booyah, kasha.
Grumpy Williams says, read the books. I am complaining about a 3 or 4 hour runtime. He's like, you got 14 hours to spare. You got 35 hours to spare. No, I don't. In fact, I may actually go back and start the theatrical release instead of the 4 hour version. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday right here, 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. If you don't like watching with your eyes, instead prefer to watch with your ears, don't worry, we got you covered. Our friend Jamie puts us up on podcast services of your choice. Yes, that includes Spotify. Don't forget, you can come join our Discord. Click the link in the description below and be part of our amazing community. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And this gentleman joining us for the very first time on GamesCast. I feel like you and I talk pretty much every day, is Elvert and Tigger.
Tigger's right here.
Hell
yeah, she's chilling.
Hell yeah. Listen, a lot of the cats in the chat already know who you are, Elvert, but for anybody who doesn't know who you are, tell me a little bit about the games you play, about what you do, and what you do on your YouTube channel.
All right. So, hello everybody. My name is Elvert. And I like to play video games, like you guys and everybody else who likes to play video games. I play like a wide range of video games. Honestly, I play flat screen, I play VR, I play console, PC, you name it. I don't care. Just board games, whatever. I'm down for anything. And yeah, like I do have a YouTube channel, and I did play Iron Man VR, and I did get a world record run on my Iron Man VR challenge, which was a lot of fun doing it.
Are you still undefeated?
Last time I checked, yes.
That's awesome.
I am. Lots of fun, and I believe that was the first clip of the week. Right?
No way. It's been a long time.
I think it was.
It's been a long time. It's good stuff, though.
Hello, Wes.
Is Wes in the chat?
Virtual Strangers is in the chat.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, if you feel so inclined, Elvert's URL is right there on the screen, youtube.com/@ELVRT. Every instance of your name, Elvert, online is somehow different than the one before it. On my friends list, you're Elvert, but with like an underscore. Your name's got a couple E's, and your YouTube URL only has one E. I am more confused than I should be, and I think you are unnecessarily confusing the cats out there.
I'm confusing myself along the way as well. Don't you worry.
Good.
We're all in this together.
That's what I like to hear. We got a couple tips we should probably read off before the show really gets started. The first one comes from Looper, the Underground Game Cat, with the €2. Says it's 2 months of PSVR2 here in EU already. Oh shit, yeah. We're about to roll over to the 22nd. That's 2 months of PSVR2, and what a great 2 months it's been. Happy anniversary, everybody. Loving the raccoon hat, Elvert. I need to say that publicly.
Thank you. Yes. Raccoon hat. Please. Love it. Mm-hmm.
Josh Cat with the $5 tip says, "Hey Elvert, Ghost of Tabor hype. Also, Elvert, do you happen to know? Oh, I can't believe I didn't read this ahead of time. Do you happen to know any good jokes?"
I don't know if I should publicly say this one or not. But
no comment.
Brian,
Elvert.
you've heard this one before. Why do seagulls live by the sea?
Elvert, why do seagulls live by the sea?
I'm so sorry, everybody.
Me too.
Because if they lived by the bay, they'd be bagels. Hey! That's my joke, Josh. Now, thank you very much for your tip.
To answer your question, Josh, no, he doesn't know any. He doesn't know any good jokes, just the bad ones. It's, you know what, Miles isn't here. We should probably say Miles had a lot of work stuff to do. He tapped out like last week, knowing how crazy it was going to be. So we wish Miles the best. Hopefully everything's happening well over there in the UK. So Elvert's just filling in for this one episode. For anyone out there concerned, you know, where's Miles? Bring Miles back. I haven't seen anyone say that, but I'm assuming somebody's thinking it, possibly, maybe. I'm hoping so. Joey VR with the $2 tip says, "More cats. My cat, Mr. Meowgie, says hi." It's great. I love it. Darth Vader, the game cat with the $10 tip, says, "Dead Island 2 is absolutely incredible. The gore is super impressive. The visuals are beautiful, and the combat is addictive. Hopefully, with enough demand, a PSVR 2 port would be great." Oh, I got my collector's edition. Yep. And I'm super excited to play it. I heard multiplayer isn't working, so I'll have to try maybe later. But you've got Dead Island 2, Albert. I think Tatum has Dead Island 2. A bunch of people in our community bought Dead Island 2. We're gonna kill some zombies together on a flat screen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Darth Vader and we just actually tried playing it earlier, but the multiplayer was just not working. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for the update then, you know, in this case.
Mark Smith liked your joke, Elvert, so you got one.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Well, listen, guys, if you don't know how the show works, if you ever want to get your comments read on the air, you don't have to give us money. Like that's not necessary. You can also go to our Discord and go to the viewer takeover section over there. Leave a comment. If we like what we see, then maybe we'll read it here on the show. And today's question comes to us from Gundy. Now, I got to say something. Thank goodness for Gundy. Gundy is the one who pointed me in the right direction before going to bed when the Red Matter 2 reveal was about to happen. He popped up on the German store before it popped up anywhere else. And so shout out to Gundy. Thank you so much for that. His question in viewer takeover, which I did not prepare for, I really should have, Elvert. He says, what would be 5 realistic wishes for this year on PSVR 2? Now, keep in mind, Elvert, we're going realistic and PSVR 2 related. Gundy's choices are Half-Life Alyx, Dash World, The Last of Us Factions VR, and he says, I know I'm stretching a little bit on that one. Then he also says Resident Evil 4 and 7, and then a 3D movie cinema. Okay, let's start with Gundy's predictions. How likely do you think these 5 things that he's listed are?
So, I mean, very plausible for sure. Like, I will say a little spoiler already. Kind of 2 out of the 5 I kind of put on my list. You know.
Oh.
I think Half-Life Alex definitely has a good shot. I'll give a little bit more of my input soon. And 3D movie cinema is what I hope. I really hope.
I feel like Alex could really, turn a lot of heads. Right? I don't think it's essential. I think it's, I think it's an important game. It's definitely important for VR. And I do think that if Sony managed to procure that for PSVR2 and say, hey, this is a game that everybody's been saying we really need on our platform, and we got it. Here you go. It's a holiday 2023 release. Cool, right? Probable? Maybe. I'm really hopeful for Dash Dash World. I'll say that, right? Because Dash Dash World is, we're still waiting for Galaxy Kart to be awesome. Because right now it's not even close. It needs a lot of work. So we don't have a good kart racer.
Fun with friends, but yeah, I agree.
Fun with friends, especially if you don't have to spend any money on it. If you have to spend money, suddenly the prospect of it being good goes way down. So, yeah. But I don't know, man. Without numbering them, I think I would have to say this. I think that we've probably got a showcase incoming in the next couple months, right? I mean, it's got to happen eventually. It can't just not happen forever. And I do think that at that showcase, when Sony starts revealing things, if they really, really want to push PSVR 2, and I think they do. Albert, you've heard the rumors, right? That supposedly PSVR 2 will come to retail sometime in May, right? Have you heard these rumors?
Yeah. These are relatively new rumors from what I know. Given the exact date, I mean, rumors about PSVR 2 coming to retail has been going around for a while, but an actual date, I can't think of it past 24 hours ago.
Right. So once that rolls around, I feel like if that gets on store shelves, in mid-May, and available on Amazon mid-May, and then just after that, they do a showcase, and then they kind of blow everybody's socks off with PSVR 2 reveals, saying, here's some of our first-party stuff, here's some hybrid stuff, here's built from the ground up for PSVR 2 stuff, here's third-party relationships that we have, here's third-party games that you've probably heard of, but now that's coming with PSVR 2 support out of the box, that would be the time to drop all that, right? It's in stores. People see that showcase and go, I want a PlayStation VR 2. And with a click of a button, without thinking too hard about it, they're able to purchase a PlayStation VR 2 and it'll be at their house with Amazon 2-day delivery. So,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with a bundle with the PlayStation 5 and the PSVR 2. That'd be great.
Yeah. I've asked every single one of my other co-hosts about this, Elvert, so I might as well ask you too. How do you think Sony's going to handle the first party stuff? Sirens on my end. How do you think they're going to handle the first party PlayStation VR 1 ports? Right, because they've obviously got a lot of these great PSVR 1 games. They've got Everybody's Golf and Wipeout and Blood and Truth and The Persistence and Astrobot. And I mean, there's a lot of fucking first-party games, right? And they haven't made any mention of how they're going to handle those on PSVR 2. What do you think they're going to do? And do you think that will be part of the showcase or a state of play or what?
That is a great question. That is a very great question that, I mean, honestly, My answer to that would actually be, depending on some games, some first-party games, maybe like Astrobot, maybe they'll do an upgrade charge. Maybe they'll possibly do a PS Plus thing with those. I don't know. I like that I'm reaching there, but greedy Sony would choose, hey, let's charge for these upgrades, while giving back Sony, for the support of the PlayStation VR community, PlayStation VR 2 community. Yeah, I could see them giving free upgrades. I don't know. It's all business at the end of the day.
It is all business, and I do think that the one thing Sony's been really good at has been giving stuff away. They easily could have charged for a Resident Evil 7 PSVR 1 version, right? They could have done the same thing for Village. But because of the partnership that Capcom had with Sony said, just here's millions of dollars, and we're just going to make it free for any owners of the game. They did the whole PlayStation Plus collection for, when the PlayStation 5 launched. We got 15 AAA games. It was crazy. And I do think that they've got these games in their stable. And I think the best use of them would be to say, hey, we understand that PSVR 2 is expensive. But let's lighten the load a little bit and say when you buy PSVR2, you also get a bunch of these games, whether they dole out one a month as part of Plus, or they just make it a Plus collection or something. I just feel like Sony wants to make the $550 price tag not seem like so much money, because it is a steep price to pay.
Oh yeah, it is a lot of money. If you get down like that.
We got way off the topic.
Right?
Did you have more realistic wishes for Gundy's question?
Yes, to elaborate a little bit on the Half-Life Alyx, it's not necessarily just Half-Life Alyx. It's kind of like a blanket statement here. I want notable PC VR games on the PlayStation VR2. Like, I don't really hear a lot of people talk about Boneworks. I would like to see Boneworks come to PSVR2. That'd be cool. Half-Life Alyx and, other ones that we don't see. I mean, we got Pavlov, like that's a notable one. So I just want to see more of that. My second one would be a PlayStation Home-esque type of app. I would love that. So just a social app where kind of like VR chat, not rec room graphics, like just hanging out with friends, shooting, like playing pool, whatever it could provide. Now the 3D movie cinema, like big screen movie theater app with 3D, I agree with that. I think that watching movies with friends would be great, and would be great, especially on PSVR 2, because you won't be using your Sense controllers much. You'll just be watching, and like the 3D, it would be awesome. This one is very wishful thinking. I don't think it'll happen. But Grand Theft Auto 5 PlayStation VR 2.
I mean, talk about the one. It was so heavily rumored. It seemed to make logical sense. If you were Sony and you were going to use that, we want to sell our headset to everybody, right? What's the one game? What's been the best-selling game for 3 generations straight? Who would be the first team you go to obviously go to Rockstar and be like, for the love of God, please give us a version of Grand Theft Auto on PSVR 2. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. That'd be amazing. Yep.
That would kill it. That would kill like that. In my opinion, that would be the best thing that could happen for the PlayStation VR 2. And lastly, I just want the PlayStation Store to finally work by the end of the year. Like, I am tired of this. I am so tired of this. Like I just want my PlayStation VR games to just show up when I want them to. Like on last generation, you couldn't even find Catan VR in the PlayStation VR store. You would have to actually manually search it.
Yeah.
So
sorry to burst your bubble, Elvert, but he said realistic wishes, and I don't think the PlayStation Store is ever going to function properly. That's all. Jeremiah in the chat says, "Fuck all that. Factions VR is all I need." That works.
That'd be great.
Now it's Ryan, the game Feline says, I would live in Grand Theft Auto 5 VR like I have lived in Skyrim for months. I feel like I'd spend way too much time in Grand Theft Auto, because I never played Grand Theft Online, but from everything I've heard, it is, I mean, that's what I want out of a VR game, man.
Grand Theft Auto is, like, it still has a lot of meat into it, man. Like a lot of people haven't played the PlayStation 5 version of Grand Theft Auto, and I think that's the best way you can play it, because if you play any other generation, if you play the campaign, you know that when you're switching between character to character, you're stuck in the clouds. You're stuck in the clouds going from character to character. It's seamless on the PlayStation 5. It's way better like that. I mean, that's just something that I haven't really heard anybody talk about, to be honest, but yeah.
All right, man, we're going to move along because we got tons of news to talk about in the next news story. It was super exciting. This happened was it 2 nights ago, man? Again, everything's just a goddamn blur around here. But developer Vertical Robot announced that Red Matter 2 is officially coming to PlayStation VR 2. And I don't even have to look at the date, because I know what the date is, because it intersects with another date that I'm waiting for. May 11th. It's coming to PlayStation VR 2. Did you get the chance to play these games yet?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
I have
That's
not.
Perfect.
Nope.
Perfect. right? So many people are like, oh, I already played Red Matter 2 on Quest, so like this is cool, but I'm not going to buy it again. I started it on Quest, and I was like, this is okay, but I absolutely loved Red Matter 1. So hopefully they'll have news about what they're doing with Red Matter 1. It seems really weird to have a sequel announced for this new next gen headset and not it's a direct sequel. Story wise, it continues where the last one left off. So it seems strange to not have the ability to play Red Matter 1 on PSVR yet. So hopefully they'll have an announcement about that soon. But the more interesting part about this wasn't that the game is coming to PSVR2. I think that's been kind of heavily rumored for a while. I think I might have accidentally said that it's coming a while ago. And but it was all about their tweet where they listed all the cool shit that they're doing to the game, from the PC version, from the Quest version, and that's that it's going to run at a native 120 FPS, meaning no reprojection. It's got foveated rendering, remastered 4K textures, new lighting, new shadows, the whole thing. These games already look stunning, and I think this is going to be a nice wake up call to some developers, right? Who are like, oh, we couldn't get our game running at 120 FPS without reprojection or whatever. And I want to clarify, not every game can, right? Games like Horizon Call of the Mountain, like there's just too much, the environment is just too detailed, there's too much stuff going on that you can see way too far out in the distance. I think that the way Red Matter 2 is specifically designed is perfect to allow for 120 FPS. So I'm super excited for this news. I think this is going to be a fun game, and I think it's going to be a visual showcase.
Yeah, especially for people who have never even played Red Matter 1 like me, people who this is their first experience on the PlayStation VR2 and are loving their VR right now. And having games like this will only benefit, the VR landscape as a whole.
Will you wait, having not played Red Matter 1, will you wait till you can get your hands on it on PSVR 2 somehow? Or will you just dive in and say, fuck, I'll get caught up. It'll be fine. I'm sure I can figure out what's happening.
I have to do a little research. I could just ask right now. Do you think that Red Matter 2 is a direct sequel to Dead Matter 1? Like, do I have to know what the events of Red Matter, Red Matter, do I have to know what's going on with that story to actually get caught up with Red Matter 2?
I mean, no. I don't think so. I think every single developer out there, every single studio is aware that there will be people who are buying their game and not knowing what happened in the first game, right? That you can't make it so that it's hard to understand if it's a new gamer. So I feel like a lot of teams make sure that there's enough backstory there that like within the first 20 minutes or so, you're going to get caught up on a lot of this stuff. So I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be crazy difficult to get into or anything, but I think you'll probably appreciate it more if you do play the first one.
I'll take that into consideration. Yeah, I'll think about that for sure.
Right. Yeah. SB says Red Matter 1 wasn't bad on PSVR 1. I don't think it was bad at all on PSVR 1. I think they made it was a beautiful game. And within, I think, a week of the game coming out, they allowed us to turn off the anti-aliasing, which I always do. In a heartbeat, man. Like I'd rather have like a little bit of shimmer from the rough edges than the smear out there.
Yeah, the blurry, just meshing together, it just doesn't work out that way. For VR, for some people,
yeah,
not for me at least.
I turned it off immediately the second they gave us the option in Firewall. But May 11th, dude. May 11th. And the reason that May 11th is so significant isn't just because of Red Matter 2. It's because we're getting another highly anticipated game on May 11th, and that's Walkabout Mini Golf. And we already knew this. We're not breaking the news right now, but we're so fucking excited about it. And a lot of the cats today have been pointing out, Elvert, that over on Steam, and I believe on the Quest as well, I haven't checked that out, that there's a bundle over there called the Whole, WHOLE, in one bundle. And it's like $36, $35.89. And it includes the full game. It includes the original 8 courses, which is the full game. The first 7 DLC courses that were $3 a piece, and the last 3 that were $4 a piece. So you get everything Walkabout that you could possibly buy for $36. You're a Walkabout fan, right?
Deal. Yeah. But I love Walkabout. I'm just going to be honest with you. I did not purchase any of the DLC. So, but if they do have an option for the game that doesn't require DLC, don't you worry, guys. Don't worry. You can still play with your friends as long as they have the DLC pack. You guys have a guest pass. You just can't collect the balls and you can't do the fox hunts, but you can still play golf, and that's all. Just hanging out with friends and just shooting the shit, playing golf. That's so much fun in of itself, really, especially in VR, like and with cool people.
Yeah, absolutely agree. This is also buy the DLC, buy the whole thing, because for real, like it is for $35. Like you're going to get hundreds of hours out of this. It's a ridiculously good deal. Yeah, you can. I'm assuming that they'll probably sell the game for $15 on its own. With the original 8 courses, I'm sure you'll have that option. But I'll tell you that the best courses are the ones that came out after that, the ones that are part of the DLC. Eldorado was unbelievable. I thought Eldorado, the course designs were just so great. That was when they really hit their stride, I think. And then 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Both of those I could play probably endlessly. They're all good, but those are the 2 best ones in my book.
Awesome Tatum in the chat says, "Give me my friggin' Walkabout. I want to play that new Egypt course." I actually played the Egypt course last night, and I thought it was pretty cool. I played hard mode. All 18, and I played the last 9 on easy. And I gotta say, very, very impressive. And I cannot wait for the PlayStation VR2.
Dude, that's so good to hear, because like the only courses I didn't love, like Mist was fine. I played it, but I only played it like once or twice, right? Like with Eldorado, I jumped in and I wanted to play it constantly. With Mist, I played it once and I was like, yeah, let's go play something else, right? And then everybody told me that Upside Town, the one that came out before the Egypt one, was just not really that much fun. And so it's really good to hear that they've kind of bounced back and that the Egypt one is fun again.
Yeah, I think, like, given I haven't really played Walkabout as much as you guys or any of the other cats around here, but I have played the Atlantis course. I've played I've played almost all of the original courses that have come with the base game, and some other ones too. I just can't really name them off the top of my head because there's just so many. There's just a lot. And given that there's night and day course, so there's just tons of content. And I don't know, like you've been back there with like the home screen where there's like the practice and range and the shooting range. I thought that was super cool.
Oh yeah, the like so just like the social area to hang out, like where the clubhouse is. Yeah, the driving range, practice range, all that. Yeah, all that was added later on, and definitely a cool thing. Especially since like whenever I play Walkabout, I never know who's going to join me. Right? We were just talking about this with Demio. It's like when I play Demio, I know who's going to join me. I don't need a hangout area. Again, that's just me personally. But with Walkabout, it's like, am I going to play with 2 other people, or 3 other people, or 5 other people, or 6 other like? And so I'll put the room code out there and just see who shows up. Right? So I definitely wait quite a bit, and so I need that social hangout area in order to do it. Spooky Yuki in the chat says that's Elvert. Get that,
Yuki. Woo!
We also had Bound Underground in the chat says, I would pay $100 or more for Walkabout. Best game ever. Listen, as much as I love Mighty Coconut and as much as I love Walkabout Mini Golf, don't give them any ideas. It's like PSVR2 special edition. Boom, 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 boom. $99.99. It's like, no, what happened? It's like, shit. Why did we listen to Bound Underground? Horrible. He said he almost fell over playing Upside Down. That's good to know. I want to check it out. I shouldn't even be saying that some people don't like it because I don't have an opinion on it. I want to know if it's any good.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, man. We got a couple more tips to take care of before we move on to our next story. Shapeshifter R, the amorphous game cat, with the $6.66. Says, do any of the hosts or co-hosts plan to play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom when it releases on May 12th? The day after Red Matter 2 in Walkabout, by the way. The last trailer was amazing. I'm personally beyond hyped.
I'm going to be honest, I barely touched my Switch like in a while, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm probably not. I'm very dedicated to my PlayStation VR too. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta pick and choose my battles. Unfortunately, I when it comes to flat screen games, I can't just be like, oh, I'm going to play this one and that one and this one, because every time I do that, that's a game that's not getting reviewed or covered or whatever for the channel. So unfortunately, got to pick my battles, and I chose my battles, and I'm playing Dead Island 2 this weekend. I'm so excited.
If you need any assistance, Darth Vader, Tatum, and I are here to help.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are my team, man. Like, although I guess it's only 3 players this time around, right? Not 4. So we'll see who's around.
I have no idea, actually. I bought the game blind as a bat, or actually, I think that's not the proper term to use anymore for first playthrough. Or, yeah. Anyways,
we got Dianos Maximus. I'm gonna have to come back to this one. And
Dianos Maximus.
Mm-hmm. Is that
Dianos Maximus? Okay. I don't know. Something was around.
We'll go with that. With 5 quid, he says, first time I've managed to catch a live stream. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the show. With being in the UK in work hours, thanks for all the great content and reviews. You're all amazing. He's the first time he gets to tune in. Our UK co-host is MIA. He's like, I'm in the UK. I love Miles so much. Oh shit! I finally get to watch a show and Miles isn't here. Awesome. Thanks, Miles. You let everyone down. Radio Runt says, yo, I am here. I've actually played Radio Runt with Tiffany from Skydance. Walkabout Mini Golf was our one and only encounter. He's really good at Walkabout Mini Golf, you guys, just so you know. Watch out for Radio Runt if you're playing multiplayer.
Yeah, Radio Run and we've talked about I think Escape from Tarkov and Ghost of Tabor a little bit here and there.
Nice. Well, have you and Radio Run talked about VR Skater? Because VR Skater is coming to PlayStation VR2, and oh boy, Albert, do we have a blog post to read as soon as I can get it up on the screen. This is
Oh yeah, I have mine ready right here.
You excited about VR Skater while I get this shit ready?
You know, I'm going to be honest, at first, kind of not really, but after watching a couple more videos about it, I think there's something to it. I really think that I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Here's the interesting thing. At first I was like, this seems really weak, right? It's like you're just going down a straight line. This is about as linear as courses can get. It's like you just have to get from the beginning to the end. And I was like, this is all right? And then the more I saw, the more I liked it too. So I'm in the same camp as you. And then somehow, just recently, I kind of realized that you have way more control over the way your ability to kind of like strafe left and right down the course. So actually lining up these tricks and actually grinding these rails and stuff, you're not just like perfectly lined up for it. Like it's a little more work on your end. And I was like, oh, you know what? With that in mind, I'm suddenly way more interested in this. This is like the downhill jam on Skate or Die.
Yeah, like the only skating games I really remember off the top of my head that I've played a lot were like the Tony Hawk Underground series. You know, Tony Hawk Underground 1, Underground 2, and I also played Tony Hawk American Wasteland.
All right.
Yeah, American Wasteland. Yep. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see this because like even looking at this GIF that's on the PlayStation blog, I don't know if you're there or not, but like there's this one little part where you actually grab the skateboard and it actually turns into a hand. And I don't know if that was shown before, but actually seeing it now, I think it's super cool.
Yeah, I gotta get to the GIF. Where's the GIF? Scrolling down to the GIF. Where's the GIF? Jesus, there's a lot of sirens today. There's a lot of sirens every day. I don't know why I made it sound like it's unique to today. Are my GIFs just not playing? Oh, there it is. Oh, dude, I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, there's like a hand that just like grabs the board. I forgot. I'm not really too keen in the skateboard trick department, so I don't know what it's called. But it's very, very popular in skating in general.
It's called the front of the board grab, Elvert.
Front grab?
I don't know what it's
right?
called. No idea. No.
Something.
I I was a terrible skater. I skated in high school. I could barely ollie up on a sidewalk, and then I skated in college. But all I really did with my buddy Adam was bomb every hill possible and get hurt a lot, and that was a lot of fun. But as far as tricks go, I was terrible. The only tricks I really know are from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I didn't learn a lot. It wasn't like I was taking notes and shit. I just knew the button combinations. So this is all. I've seen a lot of tricks being done, but I don't actually know the names of most of them. So let's blast through this blog post real quick and highlight some of the finer points.
Nose grab.
Thank
you, chat.
Damn.
Thank you, game chat.
Scobie Man says, "Is it first or third person view?" It's first person. You just can't see your character on the board because you got to pay attention to the board in order to do the tricks. So yeah, it'd be really interesting if they pull this off the way that I think they will. This is gonna be fucking awesome. VR Skater. Sorry, this comes from Frankie Fleming, Community and Digital Marketing Manager at Perp Games, our good friends over at Perp Games. A lot of great stuff coming from them soon. Keep your ears and eyes open. VR Skater is a highly immersive street skateboarding game coming to PlayStation VR2 this summer. It's finely tuned. It's a finely tuned mix of both arcade and simulation, easy to learn but hard to master. The feeling you get after landing a difficult trick is like no other. Today we're talking new features, experiences, and everything PlayStation VR2. One thing all skaters need to experience in VR is the Mega Ramp. From a gameplay point of view, the Mega Ramp allows players to catch air like never before, pulling off insane flip tricks and huge grabs over the iconic Mega Ramp made famous by skateboarding legend Danny Way. Usually the key... Can we stop? We gotta stop for a second. Elvert, sometimes I fall over just standing in a VR game. My character is not on a skateboard. He's not on a motorcycle. He's just standing. I'm very concerned about everything on my bookshelf because I think I'm going to break a lot of stuff playing this game. I'm going to fall over a lot because maybe I'm just old, but I've got no sense of balance left. I think I'm going to fall a fucking lot playing this.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, definitely utilize your play space. You want to use the standing play space, then Guardian, whatever it's called, for it, then if you're afraid.
Ted Rex says this makes my knees ache just looking at it. Man, I'm excited because I always say the same thing about VR games. Like whenever a developer's like, "Oh, we're worried that we're going to make somebody sick," I'm like, "Go for it. Try to make me sick." Like I want to experience that. Maybe I'll fall over. Who cares, right? But like, and our good friend Bel Ramio, who really hurt himself playing VR. Right? He's like weeks of recovery after he busted his knee.
Dude.
Right? And so it's not. I make jokes about it, but at the same time, it's be really careful out there. Be careful out there. Take good care of yourself. But I want those feelings in VR. Right? Like I want. That feeling of oh my God, I think I'm going to fall over. Windlands, for example, right? Windlands 1 and 2 really made my stomach drop out. Not in a motion sick way, just in a, oh my God, I can't, this is insane feeling. My body's convinced that I'm grappling around these environments. It's crazy.
If it wasn't for me sitting down in No Man's Sky on PSVR 1, I would have been falling all over in my spaceship.
Shapeshifter says, always wear protection, Brian. We'll have to have a chat after the show. So it says, adaptive triggers. Here we go. Announced first today on the PlayStation blog, VR Skater will use the power of the PlayStation VR2 with all sorts of weird spaces and weird places to push immersion further. We plan to use adaptive triggers to adjust tension when steering in-game, giving the sensation of resistance you'd feel in a skateboard's trucks and bushings in real life. VR fans and skaters will love this announcement as we're trying to replicate even the most minor details of skating. That's pretty cool, man. I didn't even think so much about the adaptive triggers as the haptics, right? The haptics, like when you're grinding a rail or something and you just feel like that tunk, 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 tunk kind of thing, like with, with every intersection of the pipe. It's just, I wasn't thinking about how adaptive triggers could really make this more immersive. So it's be interesting to feel. The controls replicate how tricks would be performed in real life, swiping and scooping your hands as if they were feet to perform iconic skate tricks like kick flips, tray flips, hard flips, and many more, and nose grabs. Feeling intuitive if you've ever stepped foot on a skateboard before. All right,
That's super cool.
yeah, I think
I'm excited. Like, actually,
that's most of the new information that was in the article. So I don't think we have to read the rest of it, but very, very cool stuff, and I definitely can't wait to try it out for myself. This is one that I think you have to play to really get excited for, but we'll find out.
I think I'm just gonna throw this throwaway theory out there, but I think people who are good with the tech decks, you know what I'm talking about, like the small little skateboards, I think
The ones
they're
with
gonna
your
be
fingers?
pretty good at this game. Yeah, yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty good at this game. I don't know about you.
I don't know about me either. We got Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Game Cat in the chat with the $5 tip, says, just got back from watching Evil Dead Rise. So much creepy goodness. Dude, I keep hearing good things about Evil Dead Rise. I'm the only horror movie that's really on my radar right now is the new Insidious movie. That new trailer just dropped, The Red Door, and I'm super duper excited. It comes out in like 3 months, but I'll tell you, I'm so excited about that movie that I can't even watch the trailer. Elvert, I watched the first 12 seconds, and I was like, no, I can't spoil anything else like that. Why would I watch a trailer if I'm already going to go see the movie? Right? What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it really depends on the person. You know, like some people, like, you know, they want to get as much information about like something as possible before they go and see it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense for like a video game, but for like a movie, ooh, like, you know, like I like that mystery, you know, like what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
You know, that's why a lot of people like to avoid spoilers, you know.
100%. And for me, and especially with scary movies, I kind of enjoy the whole build-up more than the climax, whatever you want to call it. But you know, just like those subtle things that happen, like during the build-up of the movie, when you're first getting in there, you're meeting the characters. You know, like weird things are kind of happening in the background, and like it's not like, you know, shit's not hitting the fan yet. The strobe lights aren't flashing, you know, people aren't screaming yet. It's the more subtle scares that like get me more, right? Because they seem more realistic. They seem like shit that might happen to you in your real life. And so I those are the things that I think trailers probably ruin more than anything else. And I don't want that shit ruined, man. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could really tell like what kind of scary movie it is through the trailer, you know?
Yeah. Well, luckily I've seen the first 4 Insidious movies, and I have a good feeling like I know what an Insidious movie will be like. I don't think I need to watch it.
Fair enough.
We'll see. Okay, I think that gets us caught up on tips for the time being. So before we talk about Ghost of Tabor, we got one more first-person shooter to talk about, and that's an announcement that came. Sort of an announcement, sort of a casual mention by the developers. If for all the eagle-eyed viewers, you might see comments on different videos out there left by Hess Barber himself from First Contact Entertainment. There was a lot of pushback about Firewall Ultra, and for good reason, when they talked about single button auto reload, which was something that we were all very comfortable with on PlayStation VR 1 because we were using aim controllers and DualShock 4s. But with 2 Sense controllers, having 2 hands in the world is a little bit different. And so it was very interesting to see that they kind of updated everybody. And sorry, I'm looking for my B-roll. I need a producer. I need a producer, Elvert. Really need a producer.
Someone just click a button. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So the news about Firewall Ultra is that after launch, there'll be a separate mode called Ultra Mode, and that is for professional gamers. That is for hardcore gamers. That is for people who want to manually reload, who want to deal with friendly fire, and who don't want any aim assist available at all. And they kind of like lump all of those players together. And then all the more casual gamers, which is a very pejorative way of saying it, I understand that, they can keep playing the regular mode. Do you think which of these groups do you think will prevail, Elvert? Right? There's going to be the people who want to use all these assists in automatic reload. There's all the people who want to do the hardcore stuff. Which of these do you think is going to be more popular ultimately?
Oh man, ultimately, it's just going to make the game grow. But out of the two, it really depends on what they're delivering. You know, like Like if there's going to be a rank system for like the regular mode with like the single button press reload, which I personally don't mind. Like I could care less if I have to manually reload or not. Like I'm well versed into playing VR shooters where like manual reload this and that. I'm totally okay with uh, with a little bit of immersion break when it comes to that. Like it doesn't kill the game, in my opinion. But me personally, I am a hardcore shooter fan, and I really do like my manual reload, so I can see myself play a lot more of the hardcore mode. But it really just depends on what they're bringing to the table for both modes at the end of the day.
For sure. I'm almost kind of happy that that's not going to be there at launch, right? Because then everybody gets to get in, everybody gets to feel for the game, right? And we'll be playing, I'm sure, pretty much constantly for weeks or however long it takes for this mode to kick in, and then I feel like we'll be prepared, right? It's like we're going to have a total understanding of the game. We're going to have total understanding of all the different mechanics that are at play. We're going to have leveled up quite a bit and like probably unlock some gadgets. And got a chance to experiment with more weapons. And then at that point, it's like, okay, now if you feel like going in, because I guarantee you that if I went into Ultra mode on day one, I would get my ass handed to me. but to allow me to practice in a more casual way, and then be like, okay, I'm pretty fucking good at this game now. And now that the Ultra mode is available, I'm going to go in and I'm going to feel more confident about it.
See, here's a little rebuttal to that, though. If you get too used to the aim assist, maybe if you get too used to the mechanics of the regular mode, it won't really transfer over to their ultra mode. That they're like from what they're saying, it's going to be pretty much a completely different game mode.
Yeah.
What I would really like to see, like how Wes, Virtual Strangers in the chat says, options are always the best. Yeah, I really hope to see custom game modes come out with this with hell of a lot more options than in Firewall 0 Hour. Because in Firewall 0 Hour, we were just really limited to what team you want to choose and what map you want to play, and boom, let's go.
Yeah. I agree. Options are always best, to take Wes's words right out of his mouth. If in a perfect world, the exact thing we've been saying is auto reload takes longer than you can do it manually yourself, right? And so if you feel like doing it manually yourself and you're willing to face the consequences of maybe doing it wrong, right? Like, or not, not getting the clip in the way that you're supposed to, because like a lot of times you're doing this without looking and you're just trying to get your weapon ready so that you can pop out of cover and be ready. If you're willing to take that risk, then and you can do it fast, then perfect. You've got an advantage, but there's also a risk reward system at play there. And so I think it would be great if we had the option to do both at any point. But it does seem like they're very, very intentionally separating these player bases. So we'll see how that pans out. But I do think at a certain point, Elvert, everyone's going to be like, fuck this casual shit. Like, we took a poll on the last GAMESCAST, or I think it was the last one, and 20% of people said that they prefer button reload. And then a whole bunch of people said they prefer the option to have either. And then a bunch of people said, manual reload was definitely the majority, but 20% is not a small number. And I don't think you can ignore that number. And so
no, you can't.
It's good to have it there for those people. But it's also strange to not allow those 20% to interact with the other percentage that demand manual reloads. But it's happening. That's all that matters.
I'm excited either way. More shooters on the PSVR2. Bring it on. We need it. Players want it, and we're getting it. So I'm happy.
Elvert, did you say couldn't care less? Because Danarama, the GameCast pajamas with the £5 tips and says couldn't care less. LV couldn't.
So I'm gonna be honest. English was not my first language, so my grammar is not the best. But thank you very much, Dan, the GameCat pajamas, for thank you very much. I do appreciate you for correcting my name, though, because LV is another nickname. Yeah.
Oh, craziness. I don't even understand what he's referring to. Did you say couldn't care less? Did you say could care less? I don't know, man. I didn't. I have no idea.
I talk and talk and talk. I don't even know what I say half the time.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, more sirens on my end. I don't listen when I talk. I have a hard time listening when other people talk, so I'm right there with you, man. I'm surprised. We're 50 minutes in. I don't know what either one of us have said. My apologies.
Wow, 50 minutes. This is the quickest 50 minutes I've ever been in part of.
For real, right? Well,
hey, look, Ticker's back.
What's back? Oh, hey, Tigger. We need to put you full screen, man, because Tigger is fucking adorable. It actually looks like your raccoon tail is Tigger's tail. Well, it did. Now it doesn't.
Yeah, no, she has her own background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, you guys. That is a nice background. Tigger rocking the colors.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Well, it is time to get to the main topic of the show. And that's Ghost of Tabor. Ghost of Tabor.
Hype.
Sorry. Oh, hype. Yeah, Ghost of Tabor hype. I'm sorry. Elvert, this is really why you're here, right? It wasn't that Miles was like, I'm not going to be able to make the show. And I was like, oh my God, I'm scrambling. Who can I possibly get at the absolute last minute? You and I were planning this episode for a long time, saying as soon as we have a chance, we want to sit down and talk about Ghost of Tabor. And that is what we're doing here today. We were just waiting for Miles to finally get sick of us and give us an opportunity to do it. So, all right, man. Well, listen, for anybody who doesn't know, Ghost of Tabor is coming to PlayStation VR 2 in the way that, are you doing a Red Bull promotion in the middle of my speech? Are you a Red Bull affiliate?
I love my Red Bull,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I am not an affiliate yet.
Ooh. Well, I love my Chameleon cold brew concentrate. I don't think I'm supposed to be drinking this straight, but I do. And if you want to sponsor me, let's do it, man, because this shit's too expensive to buy myself. Dude, Ghost of Tabor coming to PlayStation VR 2 Q3 of this year. And just to preface the entire thing, you've been playing it, I believe, on Steam with a Quest 2 headset, correct?
Yes.
And I've been playing it on Quest 2 standalone, which I will recommend right now. Don't do that.
To be a little bit more specific, I am playing through Steam VR through AirLink on my Quest 2. I'm not using Virtual Desktop or link cable. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to get some footage going up here. Here we go. Elvert, in the best possible way, a lot of people are not familiar with Escape from Tarkov, which is the game that this game is definitely based on. So for people who are not familiar with Tarkov, can you explain like what just kind of the overall premise? We don't have to go too deep quite yet. We'll tackle all of that step by step, but just give me an overall. How would you describe this? What's your elevator pitch for Ghost of Tabor?
Elevator pitch of Ghost of Tabor. Let me tell you what, guys. If you like shooters, and if you like shooters that has risk and reward, this is the game for you. But that's my little spiel right there. But all right, but to be quite honest with you, I personally do love this game a lot. It's I think Rypop, our moderator, is gonna not like it when I say this, but it's my type of battle royale. Sorry. It's battle royale-esque. It's not necessarily 100% a battle royale. We'll get more into it. So it's a tactical military shooter, player versus NPCs. Some NPCs are your lower level NPCs that have shittier guns, and then some of them have better guns, and then some of them are just geared out, and you have to like put a lot of bullets into them or have like good bullets. And there's players around you, and you're just there, just trying to loot and escape alive. Honestly.
All right. I think that's a good overview, Elvert, and I think that in order to do this properly, we're going to have to tackle this a little bit systematically,
structurally,
right?
Yeah.
And so let's just the first thing you do is you head out into the world, right? And you can go out in teams of 3 right now.
As of right now, from what I know, yes, teams of 3.
Okay. And so when you head out into the world, you're basically dropped either on an island or in the middle of, what's it called?
The island of Tabor or the missile silo.
Or the Missile Silo. So 2 maps right now. And so when you get out into the world, what is it that you have to do? What's your mission? What are you trying to accomplish?
So your mission is pretty much escape, survive.
Okay.
Pretty much. But overall, it really depends on the missions that you get from the kiosk before you get into the maps. Sometime because the name of the game is to level up your traders in the Tabor market in order to get better weapons, and in order to do that, you would either have to sell them stuff that you collect from the raid, or complete missions that they give to you, and you have to complete them in the raid. So pretty much your main mission is to level up your traders as high as possible, so you can get the best loot, the best gear at any time you want. So you don't have to. So you have a little bit more ease of mind when you're going in there. It's not a guarantee that you're going to survive if you have great gear or anything.
Right. And so the way that you level up those different merchants are to get out into the world and basically run around, kill everybody that you see, NPCs or other players, and basically fill up your backpack with as much loot as you possibly can, right? And then find an extraction point.
Yeah, it's an extraction, looter shooter, survival elements into it. Escape from Tarkov, for example, there's a lot of things into it. Like, for instance, there's hydration and hunger, and there's some foods like here in Escape from Escape for Tarkov and Ghost of Tabor. There's some food that actually dehydrate you as your hunger goes up, and there's some drinks that actually dehydrate you, like the energy drink for some reason in the Ghost of Tabor. And there's some milk also in Escape from Tarkov that when you drink condensed milk, that definitely lowers your stats. It's not a good thing to take. Yeah, but yeah, like it's very hardcore. It's a very hardcore military shooter.
But Shapeshifter, the amorphous game cat in the chat, says the Quest 2 looks so shitty. This is the PC VR version. This is actually footage from Elvert's one of Elvert's streams, because I just knew that the Quest version right now is on App Lab, and so it's certainly not the complete version by any stretch of the imagination. And there are certainly points on Quest where the resolution is terrible and it drops into, I swear, single-digit frame rates. But here on PC, it's looking okay. But did you say you compare this to like Pavlov in terms of like visual quality?
Yes, I actually just played Ghost of Tabor. I popped into Pavlov earlier, and yeah, like and I have a pretty good PC. I can't really tell you the specs off the top of my head. I think I have a 2060 GeForce RTX. And yeah, a pretty beefy computer. We get to specs some other time. But yeah, like I could really compare the graphics to Pavlov as of right now. Yeah.
Right on. All right, man. So just before we get back to like the safe house and talk about what happens between runs, just let's clarify. You're out here in the wild trying to survive, some survival elements. You're trying not to get killed by other players or NPCs. And while you're doing that, you're collecting as much stuff as you possibly can. Your backpack is the coolest fucking Resident Evil 4 variation I've ever seen, right? Because you're actually utilizing the space in real life. There's no grid system, nothing like that. You're actually just putting stuff into your backpack and it just kind of hovers there. And you just got to sort of Tetris things around until you get everything to fit. And I'm really, really, really terrible at that. But so you're collecting all of this stuff and then you find the extraction point and you get out of there. So you bring all of this stuff back to your safe house. And this is, yes. And I'll tell you, Elvert, I'm only, I don't know how many hours of this I've played, probably 2 or 3 hours. So I've still got a lot to learn. And you've been a very good teacher so far, and it's been a lot of fun playing with you. But I still have a lot to learn. When I get back to the safe house and I unload everything, it's so technical sometimes that, like, I think it might put a lot of people off. But like, I mean, can you explain like how to craft ammo and some of the more technical things so people have a better idea of just how simmy this can get?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, there's these ammo boxes that you could collect in Raid, or you could actually craft ammo in your store, in your safe house, in your armory specifically. In order to do that, you have to collect brass, and you would have to collect gunpowder. There's 3 different types of gunpowder. There's armor piercing. There's regular armor piercing, hollow point, and tracer rounds. There we go. So yeah, you work with those bullets as is. So what I would recommend doing after a raid is when you get your guns, situated and stuff, and then you pick the guns you want out. What you do is you take the clip out, and then to the right of the blue machine, there's this ammo loader. You stick your magazine in there, and it will tell you what kind of ammo it needs. And then in the bullet crafting station, you have to select the type of ammo and pull a lever. A box comes out, and you press grip, open up the ammo box, you reveal the amount that you want, you flip it upside down, you press trigger, and all of them fall down. You click on load, they'll load up, and then you get your clip, put it back into your gun, and you're good to go, as long as you have a bullet in the chamber. If you have a bullet in the chamber, don't cock it, because you're just wasting ammo like that. Yeah.
It's very technical. I saw Time to Play VR in the chat say the backpack looks like hard work. If you think the backpack looks like hard work, I mean, that is the tip of the iceberg here. This game, I feel like, is all about hard work, right? Like it's a type of game where like you don't automatically just take all your best stuff out into the field on every run, right? Because if you do, then if you get killed, you lose it all. Right. And
you're
so
going to be so sad.
And so it's all about building up your supplies and like, and I mean, I'm just looking, when I look at Elvert's gameplay and he has all this stuff everywhere and all my walls are empty. Like I can't wait to get to the point where I just go, oh, the Saints and Sinners feeling when you're leaving the bus and you go, what weapon do I want to take with me today? Right. Just have that moment where you're like, I'm planning my day. How am I going to kill these motherfuckers? I'm not there yet. As of this moment, I pretty much only have one option. I'm like, I guess I'll take this handgun and this assault rifle, and that's all I've really got. And if I lose it, I'm fucked, right? So on every run, I'm trying to bring more stuff back with me. But then on the last run, I had a good helmet on. I had a good vest for protection. I was good to go, and I had some decent weapons on me too. Thinking, okay, this is going to be the one. Like I'm going to go out there and kill everybody. And some dude shot me from all the way across the map, and I was like, and I lost it all. So the risk reward that you were talking about at the beginning of the segment is 100% real. Like it's fucking scary real. Like do not take your favorite shit with you if you're scared to lose it. Like make sure you have multiple of your favorite thing before you start taking it out into the field.
Games like this will quickly humble you. If you think that you're gonna go in there and you're gonna wreck, yeah, you're gonna get quickly humbled.
All right, so. You definitely, you brought this up. You said you want to create these like relationships with the different vendors, right? In the Tabor marketplace, which is a completely separate place than what we're looking at here. The safe house, where you bring all your stuff back, but then you can actually bring up the menu and go to the Tabor marketplace. And then you start taking on missions with all these different vendors. So what's the point of that?
Before I answer that question, Shapeshifter has a really good question in the chat asking how many players in a match? 2 teams of 3 or 4 or 6 teams. The answer to that is Missile Silo has 6 actual players in the game at a time. So if you go into a team, if you go in there with the team of 3, then you already have half the map with players, with your team right there. Island of Tabor, there's up to 12 players at the moment. So we'll be 1/4 if we have a team of 3 in there.
Yeah. They're big maps too, and I think that was one of the things it took me a little while to get used to, because this is, yes, in essence, it is a type of battle royale, but not totally. It's a completely different type, right? It feels like it, but it's not, right? Battle royale
just has that feeling.
It does, because here you are. You just drop you on the map. just like Fortnite or something, but like you're not dropping next to a ton of other people and killing 5 people out right off the bat with, a stick or something. And that's the map's big. The map's really big. And so it can be a long time before you see anybody, if you see anybody else at all. And so, but,
Yep.
and I don't think one of the most important things that I don't think we've conveyed yet, Elvert, is that this game's really tense. Right, the whole time it's all about listening. Like I'm making sound with my footsteps, you're making sound with your footsteps, and like and you there's proximity chat. And so if I'm like yelling, Elvert, do you see anything? It's like other people around us can hear, and so you got to be careful. It's like I got to get close to Elvert and talk to him, and make sure that we're talking to each other quietly, so that if there are people around, they don't hear us talking. I will tell you that one of the scariest things I've ever heard in this game is somebody talking, because that usually means I'm about to die, because I hear somebody and that means I'm close enough to them for them to fucking see me and kill me. And so if I hear somebody's voice, I'm like, fuck, I'm about to die. It's the scariest noise you could possibly hear.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. Like that's why when like I try to walk up to people and I talk to them, like, you know what? We're straying a little bit too far. Let's get back to the Tabor market real quick. Yeah, but I mean, I could talk about this for ages. To be quite honest, if anybody wants to talk more, goes to Tabor with me. I'm always on Discord. Trust me. So in the Tabor marketplace, there you have different vendors all around. There's a vendor for medicine. There's a vendor that you go to for brass and your gunpowder. There's a vendor for your helmet and backpack and your chest rig. There's a vendor for weapons. There's a vendor for food and water. Trust me, there's a lot to this game. So you could go up to a vendor and you could choose what you want in a kiosk, and then it'll populate in a wall right next to that kiosk. And then in your gun holster, you have a little scanner that you could scan what you want to buy. And then you go back to the kiosk, you press purchase, and then it'll be back at your safe house in the trade room.
There's a lot going on here, man. There's a lot going on here. It's funny because what's here doesn't feel like something I shouldn't that I haven't seen before, but it is. It all feels like the natural evolution of these types of games, and I personally haven't experienced this. I don't know how similar this is to Escape from Tarkov, because I've never played Tarkov, right? But there's so much going on here that I'm actually surprised that this level of simulation, this level of realism hasn't been attempted before, but it's certainly never been attempted before in VR.
Yep.
And so this is interesting, and I think that I'm really excited for this, because I think I'm going to spend a lot of time in this because I really want to get good at it. But there's a part of it that really terrifies me, because there's so much to learn. The learning curve on this is steep. So it's immediately going to put off people like Time to Play, who is like, the backpack looks like work, right? If the backpack looks like work, then the rest of this game is not for you, I promise you. And so
the backpack's the most fun, in my opinion. I love the backpack mechanics.
It's going to put off a lot of people though, right? Because it's not an arcade shooter, and like even the sim shooters that we've had, this takes it to a whole new level. Right. This almost feels like we've decided to not worry if these mechanics don't translate well into a game. We've just decided to go as fucking sim heavy as possible and make people work for everything that they have. And part of me really enjoys that. And obviously you really enjoy that too, because how many hours do you have in this at this point?
Oh man. Like honestly, I don't have as many hours as other people, to be honest. Sure. I have over 40 hours collectively within the pre-alpha and or with not with the pre-alpha, but with the alpha and the beta right now. Collectively over 40 hours. Escape from Tarkov over 100 hours. Here's the thing about Escape from Tarkov, though. I have over 100 hours in that game, and I still feel like I don't know shit. Like nothing.
That's how I feel in every game, Elvert.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your overall thoughts? I mean, like, is this going to be a must buy PSVR2 game when it comes out. Like, I mean, especially if they like, you know, really kind of polish this thing out, because I don't want to gloss over the fact that this game's janky as hell, right?
Ghost of Jank.
Ghost of Jank. It's on App Lab. Is it early access on Steam? Do we know?
Let me verify that with you right now. Actually,
dude, Elvert and I were in the middle of this in this building, like in the lobby of this building, right? And I put my backpack down because I was trying to like reload my weapon. I was trying to pull shit out of my backpack, and it stuck there. And I was like, oh my god, am I a moron? Is Elvert going to think I'm really stupid, like for not knowing how to pick up my backpack? And then Elvert comes in and he's like, let me try to pick up your backpack. And he puts down his backpack and it also gets stuck there. Like, this game is not without jank. It is jank central. And so I'm really, really hoping that they can polish out all the jank, you know, make it nice and shiny and pretty for the PSVR2 launch. Because I do think I'm very, very, I'm done with the Quest version. I'm absolutely done playing because, like I said, there was like times where it was like chugging along at 10 FPS and you can only do that for so long before it just wears you out, right? When I get motion sick, I get tired, and that's what this game did to me on Quest. But if they can get a nice solid frame rate on PSVR2, I am down for some prolonged sessions.
Yeah, no, honestly, once it comes out to PSVR2, it's going to be depending on what games come out before that. I don't know. It's a really tough call between RE8 and this game, but I think this game is like the most VRAF game there is at the moment.
It's pretty VRAF.
Yeah. Just to go into a little deeper with the magazines and the bullets, you could actually
here we go.
Manually put bullets into your clips, and you could actually manually take out the bullets as well. So like in the middle of a game, if you have a shotgun with no with no ammo or no magazine, you would have to actually manually put your ammo shells in there. So you would have to actually have some loose shells in your backpack. Oh man, yeah. But the game is still early access as well.
I like that you said you can do this as if it's a feature, because it is technically a feature. It's something that no other game is doing. But man, it drives me crazy, right? Because I'm not a weapons guy, right? Like, I am learning about guns and weapons because of video
in real
games.
Time.
Yeah. And so yeah. It's, you know, like just learning to reload all the different weapons in Pavlov. That was an experience for me. Just being like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, I'm just gonna have to learn this on the fly. And this now takes it to a whole new level. And I'm like, Jesus, like, there's gonna be people out there that really, really appreciate this. But that's one part of this that I haven't even come to terms with yet. I'm like, where do I get a magazine from? And you're like, you got to go find one. I'm like, I got to go find one.
Like, what? Yep. Either find one or level up the gun person, the Spectre. I forgot the full name. You get some magazines from Spectre.
Oh yeah.
Once you level Spectre up.
Is this your most hyped, most excited, most anticipated PSVR2 game, Elvert?
This is my most anticipated game.
Oh, right. Period.
Period.
Nice.
Period. I own it, and it's still my most anticipated game.
It's amazing
of this year so far for PSVR2. Yeah.
Izzard with the $2,
not just for PSVR2, but yeah,
but for anything. Izzard with the $2 says, "Good job with the elevator pitch for Tabor." No, I'm sorry, I misread it. He said the Elvert-vator pitch.
That's what he said.
Elvert-vator. Nice. I can't even read it properly. Good job with the Elvert-vator pitch.
Elvert-vator. Oh,
nice. That's good. I like that.
Oh.
Man Bear Pig Game Cat with a $2 tip says, highly recommend the tutorial. It's a fun learning game.
Whoa, Man Bear Pig is real? Whoa.
Told you.
But yes, I 110% agree with Man Bear Pig here. As much as people don't like the tutorials, people don't want to sit around and listen to people talk their ear off, I'm going to tell you right now, you will benefit a lot more if you just bite the bullet and sit there and learn.
Don't be me.
Before you get in there.
Don't be me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got in there and I was like, and it's that cool guy from the Perp Games Showcase, right? It's the guy with the cool voice, right? And he's your tutorial guy, right? You see like this hologram image of him, and he like is explaining how to do stuff, and he talks fast, right? Like he talks way faster than you can possibly do the tutorial. But yeah, no, you just take your time. Don't be like, hey Elvert, I just bought Ghost of Tabor. I'll see you in there in 5 minutes. Say, hey Elvert, I just bought Ghost of Tabor. I'll see you in there in like 2 days because I want to go in single player and learn as much stuff as I possibly can because there is a lot to learn. I don't know if there's ever been a game prior to this with so much to learn in VR at least. Yeah. Amazing, man. Amazing. All right, dude. You know what time it is?
I love this game.
It is time to end the hype for Ghost of Tabor. Super duper excited for this to come to PlayStation VR 2. I saw Wes in the chat saying that the studio is aiming for a September release, which is cool. That's a little bit more specific than the Q3 window we had prior. So that's good shit, dude. Good shit. Vince Virtue in the chat says, pro tip, learn how to play the game. It's true. It's true. It's just going to take you way longer to learn how to play the game than most games. That's all.
Hey, I'm just letting you. I'm just putting an open invitation out here. If anybody wants to play some Ghost of Tabor with me at any time, well, not any time, you know what I mean. But just hit me up on Discord. I'm always down. I like Zero to Hero. I like just going in there and snapping enemies' necks. Well, you can't snap every enemy's necks. You can't snap players' necks, nor you can't snap like elite NPCs' necks either. You have to just snap the necks of like the lower level mobs. Yeah.
Nice. You know what time it is, Elvert? I almost called you AJ.
What time is it, Brian?
It's time for a little PSVR 20 questions. That's when one of us, it's you, spoilers, takes the role of the host and is thinking of a PlayStation VR or PlayStation VR 2 game, and the other one of us and everybody in the chat has 6 minutes and only 20 yes or no questions to figure out what game you're thinking of. Have you picked out a game? And I know the answer to this, and you have picked out a game. That's the answer. And I'm terrified because in voice chat you said, ooh, I picked out a good one for you. And I was like, fuck, it's going to be a deep cut. And there's going to be no chance in hell. It's going to be one of those games, Elvert, where at the end, everyone's going to go, I've never heard of that before.
I'm going to be honest.
I know it. I knew it.
I'm going to be pretty sure that like, it's going to split the player base here and split the chat here. They're going to be like half yes and half no on that.
Not looking forward to it.
That's our prediction.
But no dicking around, man. I always screw up by slowing down with my question asking. Right, I need to ask lots of questions as fast as possible, and that's.
Do I need to notate here? I got to get my notebook out.
You just count. You just count with your fingers or whatever. I mean,
that's too much work.
Okay, you do what you got to do because that's your only responsibility, other than saying yes or no.
Sounds like a plan, man. We got this. We got this.
All right, this is about when we lose about 100 viewers. So you can, if you were stressed at all about being on the show, you can now relax, Elvert. Everybody's gone. So. Here we go. I'm going to put the clock up on the counter. Everybody, please, for the love of God, this is going to be a hard one. Please help me. I'm going to need all the help I can get. On your mark, get set, go. Elvert, is this available on... has this been announced, or is it on PSVR 2 yet?
Zero. No. Not, I don't see a chance.
Okay. PSVR 1 only. This game can this game use any special peripheral, meaning like the aim controller or a HOTAS or a steering wheel? Please ignore the 3D rudder.
From my understanding, there's only one control scheme in this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that control scheme, third question, is that control scheme the DualShock 4?
Incorrect.
Okay, so we're going to say it's moves only. I think by process of elimination, we figured out it's moves only. Okay.
Moves only.
Shit, I got to keep asking questions. Is this a puzzle game?
Ooh. Okay, so it's kind of hard for it to be called a puzzle game, but there are puzzle elements to it.
Okay.
I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction.
There's some puzzles.
though.
I got it, man.
It's,
I got it.
it's not your traditional puzzles though. It's like kind of like problem solving in a way.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is there any multiplayer component whatsoever, and that includes leaderboards?
Honestly, this is the only way to play this game is multiplayer, in my opinion.
Okay. Multiplayer only, according to Elvert. Okay.
Please only play this in multiplayer. It's so much fun.
Okay, this eliminates so much. Multiplayer only. I'm going to go with Mark Pringlesleaf, even though I'm going to say it's probably not the case. Is it a known IP? Yeah, what's up?
No, it's not a known IP. We could cross that out right there. But it's not multiplayer only. You can play the single player, but the best way to play this is
Got it.
multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a known IP. Moves only. Is it space themed? Like, are you out in space in a ship, or are you floating out in space, or are you an astronaut of any? Nothing. None of that. Not space themed. Okay. There goes Space Junkies, guys. Feel the magic. Hear the roar. Thunder Game Cats are loose with the Australian $2 says, I'm cooking sausages.
Oh.
It doesn't help us.
Bratwurst?
But thank you. I'm very hungry now. Okay. Okay, time to play asking, is the major component in this game shooting?
So you don't shoot yourself. No, but there is shooting in it.
So you're not shooting, but there is shooting in it.
First person shooting? No.
You just stopped me in my tracks. Is this a strategy game of any kind? Like strategy?
It kind of is a strategy game.
Is it war themed?
No.
Okay, so there goes Final Assault. Is there any like board? I'm not gonna. Don't answer this right away because I need to explain what I mean. You know what? I'm just gonna ask Virtual Strangers question instead because this is way better. Is it real time strategy? Is that kind of what we're doing here? RTS.
It's not okay. So it's not RTS now.
Okay.
No, it's not It's not a traditional RTS game now. Turn based. Sorry.
Do you have full locomotion? Can you run around freely?
No full locomotion at all.
Is there any motion at all? What I'm asking is, are you standing still for the entire round or whatever?
You're sitting. Yep. You're just chilling in one area for the game.
Oh my god, was this made by Zen Studio?
No.
Oh fuck! For a second, I thought it was Castle Storm.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Nick's mad that you're helping so much. There's only a minute left. I'm like, not gonna get it.
This is a hard one. I chose a tough one. Nick knows the answer too.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, was the only game I have in my head, and because I just went through like 7 different games, and I don't think any of them are the case. Was this made by like one person?
Oh, that is a good question. Pause the time. Pause the timer. We need to figure this one out.
More sirens on my end.
So. It looks like it's a team.
Okay, so it's not Corix. Have we said the name of this game, either one of us, during the course of today's show?
Not today's show, no.
Okay. Turn-based. Oh my god. Is it Dark Eclipse?
No.
Okay.
It's not Dark Eclipse.
What?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I ran out of time. What is it?
All right. developers of Future Lab, the same developers who have created the game Power Wash Simulator,
Mm-hmm.
Mini Mech Mayhem.
Oh my God! Talk about a deep cut. Holy shitballs! Mini Mech Mayhem. I have played this game on a live stream, and that's the only time I've ever played this game. I never reviewed it. Yeah, I played it for all of, I think, an hour and a half or so, and I think that is it. Did you see anyone in the chat say it?
Nobody said it. Nobody said it. Nope.
Wow. That was a deep cut. A deep cut. Doesn't excuse my ability to guess it.
It's a tough one.
I failed you all.
It's a tough one.
Stingray X says, I've never heard of that game. I knew somebody was going to say it. Somebody was going to be in my corner and be like, that was too deep of a cut. But no, that was fine. I played it. I should know it. Good shit, man. Good shit. Listen, dude.
Matt was trying the game feeling that, God, that game looked lame. Look. You have to turn off the music, okay? And then just play Spotify, play with friends, and trust me, you're going to have a blast. Like, yeah.
I mean, a blast.
You'll have fun. Yeah.
I mean, I had fun for 90 minutes, but not enough fun to like ever go back to it. So, yeah. I do remember the state of play where that was revealed though. I feel like that wasn't that like the awesome state of play where it was like Falcon Age and this and Table of Tales and it was like boom, 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 like VR games left and right. Ones. I feel like that was that one. Yeah. Nick says Mini Mech Mayhem is excellent. That's only because you probably picked the game for this, right?
Oh, I picked it. Oh,
you picked it. All right.
I love this game, man. It's yeah.
Elvert, thank you, man. I want to say thank you for not just for hanging out today and being part of the show and guest hosting. When Miles was slacking off doing like real work and stuff, but also for like
Miles.
But also for taking the time and teaching me how to play Tabor and taking me on many runs. And showing me the ropes, man, because that was really fun. Like, and if we weren't doing this episode today, I wouldn't have had an excuse to go do that. So thank you for showing me the ropes, man. I've had a lot of fun with you this week.
I'm very happy that you came by, and yeah, I'm glad that you gave the game a chance because it's definitely a game that I want other people to play, get familiar with, especially I want to play with cool people. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll get to play with cool people now that I'm done with it. I took up all the cool people slots, and now there's free slots for cool people to actually join.
It was great playing with you.
Cool. Yeah, dude, you're a great teacher, and I can't, hopefully we'll have an excuse to get you back on the show at some point, because this was great, man. I think you did a good job. Stingray agrees. You did great, Elvert.
Thank you, everybody. You all are wonderful people, wonderful game cats, game dogs, puppies, Komodo dragons, etc.
Flower pots.
Hell yeah. Game flower pots. Yeah.
Flower pots. Guys, if you like Elvert, which how could you not, make sure you go check out his channel at youtube.com/@ELVRT. There's an E missing, I promise you. It's not there. It's one E Elvert. ELVRT. Go check out what he does over there. Definitely curious as you start doing more stuff on your channel. Be making sure that I tune in. You made an awesome video about awesome asteroids. So if anybody's struggling with that game, make sure you check out his helpful tips and tricks.
Yes, man. We could talk about more stuff in the future too. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
I just turned my microphone down because there's a lot of sirens.
Hey, I don't blame you. The sirens on your end is no joke.
No joke. And also no joke. It's time to go. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you, Elvert. Thank you, everybody that helps this channel run. I mean, dude, everybody from Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry who gets timestamps into this show after the fact. That's the only way some of you guys are going to watch it. I'm talking to people in the future because the people who need timestamps aren't here right now. So, hey, future people. Also, Jamie who gets us up on podcast services of your choice. Guys, if you listen to this podcast, make sure you go write a review or give it a rating or something like that. I don't know how podcasts work, but make sure you do whatever you can to help us out. We appreciate it so much. Can't believe the good ratings that we're getting. I can't believe that people listen to the show. I can't believe that people watch the show, to be honest with you. But like, let's just move on. Thanks to everybody who helps the community out, like the amazing moderators that we have who do amazing work, not just over here, but over on Discord. Make sure you click the link in the description below. Join us over on Discord. Thanks to everybody who supports the channel financially by being a member here and over on Patreon. Don't forget that tomorrow is an AMA. If you're level 2 membership or $5 tier or above on Patreon, level 2 membership here on YouTube, then that is accessible to you. It's already set up and ready to go. So anything that you want to talk about, I am at your disposal for probably like about 2 hours or so. And we can talk about whatever you want. It's just a fun hangout session, nothing crazy. So thank you to everybody who keeps the channel running financially, including the people who tip here in the chat, everybody who hangs out and watches the show, everybody who helped during 20 questions but didn't help enough. And of course, everybody who sat back and watched the show and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there and we love you just as much. Happy Friday, Elvert.
We love you. Happy Friday to everybody. Weekend time.
And to all a good night.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Wrong button. Try that again.
Oh.
Ian Stanbridge in the chat says, "That's not the real Elvert. It's Mario wearing a Tanuki suit." That was actually my first thought, too.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering when someone was going to mention the Tanuki suit. Hey, you know what I did not mention today? That
we're still on the air.
Surprised.
So feel free to mention it. We're still on the air.
Hey guys, I'm just going to be honest here. Cactus Cowboy is not that bad. It's actually not bad at all. There's just some problems with the game that, can really divide people's opinions about it. I would recommend playing up until, you get the flamethrower and then see how you like the game. If you don't like it past that, then don't worry about it. You definitely got your free money's worth. You know what I mean?
Cactus Cowboy. You heard it here first.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, cool. I mean, I've been meaning to check it out, man. Like I want to check out everything, right? But time's limited and I still got to get through so many different games, but Cactus Cowboy's on the list. And everybody that's played it,
busy man.
Everybody that's played it, man, agrees with you. They said this is actually really fun. So, if you guys need a free game to pass the time, give Cactus Cowboy a shot, I guess. Awesome Tatum says, "I love it. It's free." Nice.
Nick in the chat says, "Had to bring up Cactus Cowboy." Indeed, I had to. I just had to.
Let me ask you this, Elvert.
Yeah. Have
you played Village?
I've only played Village up to the village.
Okay. It's like
yeah.
I just think we need to work on your priorities a little bit.
Whoa. I never thought that I would have this talk.
Yeah. Yep. Especially not on a GAMESCAST. This is it. Like,
all about it.
The games that you've played, you're the anti-Brian Paul. You've played Dyschronia. You've played Cactus Cowboy. What else have you played that I haven't played? I know you played Drums Rock.
I played. I have not played Drums Rock actually. I've played the Drums Rock demo.
That's more than I've done.
NFL Pro. I played NFL Pro Era.
Okay.
Man, what other games have I played? There's just so many. Tetris Effect is super cool.
Tetris Effect is super cool. I'll give you that. And I'm not saying any of the games that you played are bad. I'm just saying that like I've tried to play as many as I possibly can, and somehow most of the ones that you've played are the ones that I haven't even touched yet. So between the two of us, we get this shit covered. All right, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. We wasted these people's time enough. Everyone, you have a great weekend. Have a great night. Happy Friday, everybody. We love you all. Good night.
Love you all.